Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yashala. Kulovimila, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Bahashim. Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well. And by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. Shachanan the Waf, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Pray that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this is just a part of the prophecies that's coming through. You know, it says Walmart says shoppers are swapping lunch meat for beans in the latest sign that inflation is roiling low income households. And you know what? Majority of these people are Edomites, so-called white people. So-called white people. That's the majority of them. Don't they say that we're the minority? That we're so-called 12.5%, 13% of the population. So that would mean that they got to be at least about 80% of the population, you know, with the other little nations kind of factoring in Chinese, Japanese, or, you know, that little other percentage. But, you know, this is them. And I see them all the time in there, man, in the Walmarts, right? It says Walmart shoppers are reaching for beans over lunch meats, the company said Tuesday. And the latest sign that inflation is hitting low-income consumers the hardest. And it's hitting some Negroes, too, don't get me wrong, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. But mainly, this is hitting the so-called whites, man. While Walmart's, and we call them so-called white because they're actually pinkish to reddish in color, man. They're not white people. There's no such thing as actual white people that look like a white t-shirt. They're actually pinkish to reddish in color, man. It says, while Walmart's average customer is an educated suburban woman, the chain also historically caters to low-income shoppers. When inflation first began to spike, the company even saw a boost in sales, owing to its penchant for the steep discounts. But as prices continued to skyrocket, Walmart began to deal with its own customers erasing items from their shopping list or swapping certain purchases from the cheaper substitutes. Instead of buying maybe deli meats or beef, they're trading down to things like canned tuna, chicken, and even beans. So you know, Esau is eating canned goods out of their RV, parked in the Walmart parking lot at night, man, in their van or their car or something. Walmart CFO John Rainey told investors, we're seeing the same thing in the quantity, where they're trading down for smaller pack sizes that are more affordable. So instead of buying 12 items, to buy 6 items in a pack. Hey, it is what it is. This is where the scriptures come into play, man. That's how you know we're living in the last days. Them scriptures are jumping off the page, man. And we're going to continually get them, whether they sound repetitious or not. Oh, y'all do lessons on that all the time. Hey, look, this is what you need to be hearing. This is what's going down. Hell, if the bus coming, I keep saying the bus coming, and you off in a damn building somewhere, you waiting on your damn fries or a Big Mac or some shit. Hey, the bus is coming. I'm about to get on it. I'm not waiting around because you waiting on your combo, man. Hey, it's time to move, man. It says, Rainey said the big box giant shoppers are also generally buying fewer items and foregoing general merchandise for cheap food options like Walmart's private label offerings. In June, the inflation rate hit 9.1%, a 40-year high. Since then, prices have begun to cool down somewhat. In July, prices only rose 8.5% year over year, marking an end of the trend of the month-over-month spikes. Still, ongoing inflation has made many Americans feel substantially poor whenever they hit the grocery store or the gas pumps. But guess what? They was out here feeling substantially rich when them damn stimulus checks hit their hands during COVID-19. Or them trillions of dollars. That's what's got you out here. It says fuel proved to be an increasingly expensive necessity over the summer. Staples like eggs, beef, and pork which you ain't supposed to be eating no damn oink oink anyway, have also seen surging costs. In June, the price of beef jumped 4.5% month to month, while eggs increased 3% and pork leaped 3.1%. But these high prices aren't borne equally by everyone. Rising prices have especially harmed low-income to middle-class individuals as opposed to their wealthy counterparts. The wealthy counterparts, a lot of them don't even shop for themselves. Them the people that can order DoorDash all day long or Uber Eats all day long and have a charge of $30, $40 for it to be brought to them, and it's nothing to them. Jake can't do that. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans can't do it, and you trailer trash ass so-called white people can't do it. But you're racist though. See, you so-called white people that's on a lower totem pole, you're the new niggas. Because even niggas don't even really pay attention to prices like this. Jake don't pay no attention to prices like this, man, really. They go out and they just use the EBT card or the food stamp card that whatever state you're in, and they swipe it and they get what they want, and that's that, man. It says, but these high prices aren't borne equally by everyone. Rising prices have especially harmed low-income to middle-class individuals as opposed to their wealthy counterparts. Thousands of citizens fell below the poverty line in 2020, and experts have expressed concern that ongoing inflation could make matters worse by sparking a recession. And it's coming. It's coming. Next story. Let's get this one right here. And I'll grab a script or two, man. Scriptures. It says, majority of Americans say they're worried about being able to pay housing. See? Again, so-called white people. If you are feeling the pinch of higher rents, you're not alone. Nearly 60% of renters saw a rent increase during the past year, while just 38% said they saw their income increase. So the rent is increasing, but the money is not. According to a study from Freddie Mac, and renters were less likely than all employed respondents to have gotten a raise. As a result, nearly 1 in 5 people who experience a rent increase said they are now extremely likely to miss a payment. So that's 2 out of 10 people, right? 4 out of 20 people. That's a huge increase. It says the surge in rents that took place over the last 12 months have created even greater housing uncertainty for the most vulnerable renters, said Kevin Palmer, head of the Freddie Mac multifamily. Our survey shows that the national housing affordability crisis is worsening and that inflation is a key driver, of course. So now you done went from lunch meats to beans, and now a lot of them are going from a damn apartment or a house to an RV or a van or their car. And it's about to get cold outside. It says of those who saw rent increases, 15% said it was a hike of more than 10%. Higher housing costs and inflation have altered the plans for many potential home buyers as well. Oh no, you ain't buying no house. The Fed, kind of raised that interest rate up. You might as well forget about that. You might as well be looking for you a nice RV. Nearly 3/4 of renters households who were planning to buy a home said they've become less likely to they're less likely to over the past year. Among those less likely to buy have said it was because of high home prices, while 39% pointed to difficulty coming up with a down payment and 34% blame increased interest rates. Hey, look, man, it's about to get buck-ass wild out here. You ain't seen nothing yet. Where are we at? Let me see. Let's get a little bit more. While 48% of respondents said they have cut non-essential items like entertainment because of rising prices, so they're not going out to the movies no more. They're not going out to have that dessert at the Cheesecake Factory or nothing. They're not, just we're gonna take the children out to the park, and that fucking Disney World. Us just going out to just have a romantic candlelight dinner Well, hey, we gonna do all that at home with beans. We can't afford the steaks, man. Fuck the candles. We gonna use our cell phone light. Straight up, man. Okay, it says the higher costs are translating into real pocketbook concerns for households. A majority of survey respondents, 62%, said they were concerned about not being able to pay for their housing in the next year. That's a huge percentage. 62%. An even greater share, 84%, said they are concerned about an economic recession and have concerns about losing their jobs, man. While 39% of respondents reported having enough money for the things they wanted to spend money on, in addition to what they need, 41% said they live paycheck to paycheck with just enough money coming in to get by. Roughly 20% of the people reported they sometimes don't have enough money for basics like food and housing. Like, how the fuck you go to work every day and you can't afford a fucking meal, man? This is Esau Edom's kingdom, man. The so-called white man is not fit to rule. Conducted in early June among a representative sample of 2,000 American consumers, the survey found that nearly all surveyed households were affected by higher prices during the prior year. Increases in the cost of groceries and household items impacted 66% of the people in the survey. Among the other most cited areas for cost increases were transportation, eating out, and utilities. Look, eating out has never been an option for me. I get it. You want to go out. You stressed. You at work all week. You got the weekend off. The women and the children are looking at you like, I'm speaking from a man's perspective. They looking at you like, well, let's just get a getaway. Let's go camping. Let's go. Yeah, this is the way the so-called white people think, man. Let's just go up north for the weekend. It's gonna cost a little extra, but we need, I need some. But even when you're going on these so-called vacations, right? You don't feel free. You're still thinking about the shit you gotta do when you get back. The point of a vacation is to relax and take your mind off of things. You on a vacation thinking about shit. You might as well stay at home and think about it and try and handle it and save the money, man. But anyway, let's go back into that Matthew again, man. Same scriptures coming out. Matthew 24, verse 3. I'm gonna start there. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And this is where we're at, man. This is what's going on right now. And it's going to get a lot worse. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, y'all better wake y'all asses up. It's going to get real rough for you. And see, Jake just not paying attention right off. But when it really, really hit, it's going to be too late for Jake, man. And it's going to be too late for him anyway if they haven't repented to the Lord. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars, rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation. That's happening. Kingdom against kingdom. That's happening, and about to get even more rougher. Because these so-called white people in America, they ready to go to war. They want a civil war. They ready to kill you damn Democrats. And you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that voted for Biden, oh, they really hate you. They're going to be killing their own people that voted for them, but they really hate you. For real. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. What we talking about, them famines, man? What was the very first story that we pulled? Let's go back to it. The very first story that we pulled. Majority of Americans. Nope, that's not the one. Salakia. Walmart says shoppers are swapping lunch meat for beans in the latest sign that inflation is roiling low-income households. That's a huge difference too. Because when you go down through there, because I get sometimes get lunch meat from from Walmart. Like they got some, it's this one particular turkey that I like it's a little expensive, but it's good turkey. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's a little expensive. But if if it was just on the other hand, and I'm just like, you know what, I gotta choose between this, and this. Oh, hey, I'm gonna get and you know what? They used to have like certain canned goods that'll be like 58 cents. Now they're like 78, 88, 99 cent. A dollar or whatever. They used to have like canned goods where they would be like smaller ones like 50 cent. They're even more now. So the prices are going up, and what's happening is I done a lesson, I think it was last week or 2 weeks or so ago. Well, Walmart, they lost I think like $11 billion on the stock market because people are not buying none of the extra stuff. They used to be able to come in, shop, get food, buy clothes, get a damn TV set, get a they got these mini college refrigerators, microwaves. They got they're not moving the blenders, they're not moving the dry fryers and deep fryers and rugs and towels and rags and shit like that. It's a lot of Walmart is a huge store. They're not selling any of that stuff. People are only coming through to get a certain amount of foods, man. And it's a certain amount of foods that they're only getting. That's the thing, you see? So that's where those famines come in. Verse 8, it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, man. So what we do these lessons for is we stay on the lookout. Matter of fact, we in no, let me go to second Esdras. We stay on the lookout and constantly try and watch out for stuff like this because the Lord, He said to watch and pray. That was a commandment from Him. If you're not watching for when your flight is coming or a bus is coming or a train is coming, and that's your way of transportation, that's your mode of transportation, then you miss it. Now, and let's use the example of midnight or the last bus. Because you might be able to catch a bus all day long. The next one will come in an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depends on what city you in and how frequently they run. But if you get to the end of the night and this is the last run, you missed that, hey, it's a wrap. It's over with. It's over with. But this is that permanent. You done missed. Hey, if you miss this bus right here, it's what the Lord said. Come to Him while you have a chance, or come to Him while He's near. Roughly paraphrasing. Second Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, those are some of the things we just read off, right? Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which He made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And you're about to see uproars of the people. You're already seeing earthquakes. Earthquakes are all over the place. If you go to the earthquake app for the day, you probably come up with 100 or so earthquakes. It's been earthquakes going on all day. It's just not stuff that's being televised because the so-called white man, he wants to keep on giving you bread and circus. Check out this and whatever her name is, the chick that ran through the lady's house out there that they pulled a plug on the other day. They're going to give you that. They still talking about R. Kelly. They're going to give you that. It's just bullshit after bullshit. They're not giving you real transparency news. See, the American public or the American government, they don't care about you like how they say they do because they're not letting you know what's going on. These people will let a complete nuclear bomb hit this place and you won't even know it until it's coming or it hit. They're not going to tell you about anything, man. You see, that's the reason why the Lord sent out the spiritual weatherman. He said, blow that trumpet, whether they hear it or bear, let my people Israel know what's going on, man. So I just wanted to just touch on this, man. Hey, look, hunger And it's just about to get cold. It's about to get cold out here. Let me go back into it. You got Walmart says shoppers are swapping lunch meat for beans, man. You can't even make a damn sandwich. What, you gonna make a bean sandwich? You used to be able to casually go into the kitchen and grab some lunch meat, you know, what they call lunch meat. Grab you some deli slices, man. You know, some lettuce, tomatoes, you know, mustard, some mayo if you wanted it, you know, sprinkle it down with a little whatever you wanted to sprinkle. Man, look, and cut it in half. You know, that's Esau Edom's hookup. They'll cut that sandwich in half and make matter of fact, they'll make a motherfucking sub, man. Big stupid ass Subway Jersey Mike sub, man. Now they got to put beans on the bread. And it's about to come back to, hey, you're going to be thankful if you can just sop your bread into some bean juice, man. Some bean broth. It's about to get crazy out here. Then it says majority of Americans say they're worried about being able to pay for housing. Drive down through these Walmarts and see how many RVs is sitting out there with these so-called white people living out of their goddamn vans and cars and stuff. And it's going for the so-called Negro too. So, hey, you best to get ready. You best to get right. And I've been saying, hey, don't let your hand come off that plow, man. You keep on working. We're plowing towards the end, man. Warning the flock and keeping it moving, man. So, hey, with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.